Real Madrid have had their fair share of legendary strikers over the decades. In fact, some may argue a bit more than what's fair. The likes of Ferenc Puskas, Alfredo Di Stefano, Emilio Butragueño, Cristiano Ronaldo and Karim Benzema have all dazzled in the iconic white strip. Now that's some list. There's one name that I left out, and I believe the elegant poetry evident in his story singles him out as the best of the bunch, and that's Raul Gonzalez Blanco. Raul was born and bred in Madrid, in a small working class district on the outskirts of the city. He played for the local youth team of his neighbourhood, CD San Cristobal de Los Angeles, from the ages of 10 to 13. He then played for 2 years in Atletico Madrid's academy. It's a bit shocking that a player who is so synonymous with Real Madrid could have ended up playing for their fierce city rivals. Fate had other ideas though, as the president at the time, Jesus Gil, shut down the academy as an emergency money-saving measure. This forced the young Raul into Madrid's famed La Fabrica Academy. He quickly rose through the various tiers of the youth setup, until he made his professional debut for Real Madrid C, who played in the 4th tier of Spanish football. He would not need to become accustomed to playing in such a lower division for long, as he absolutely tore up trees down there, scoring a quite frankly ridiculous 16 goals in 9 games. Such ferocious goal scoring saw him promptly promoted to the first team for the 94-95 season. In the first of many straight out of a movie moments that lettered Raul's career, the intention was that the newly elevated Raul would take the aging icon Emilio Butragueño's crown. Butra, just like Raul, was born and bred in Madrid, came to La Fabrica to become an all-time great, scoring 171 goals in 460 appearances in all competitions, and winning 6 La Liga titles. If this passing of the baton, handing over the crown, changing of the guard situation needed to be solidified further, then it was, when Raul assisted for Butra's former strike partner Ivan Zamorano on 29th of October against Real Zaragoza. A truly symbolic moment. The surreal, written in the stars moments kept coming thick and fast as the following week, Raul's home debut, he scored his first goal for Los Blancos against his former club Atletico Madrid, the team whose dire financial situation meant they couldn't keep hold of the unstoppable youngster. That derby was a particularly bitter battle which ended 4-2, with all goals coming in the first half. Raul was a regular fixture of the first team during his debut season, which he ended with 9 goals in 28 league appearances, as Real took the top spot and the La Liga title. The following campaign would be a dreadful one for Real Madrid, as they finished 6th in the table, 17 points off top spot as they relinquished their La Liga title limply to city rivals Atletico. Raul was an ever-present, playing in all but 2 of Real's 42 league matches, scoring 19 goals. The 96-97 season would see Madrid embroiled in a tense and tight title tussle, with mortal enemies Barcelona. Los Blancos displaced the Catalan giants atop La Liga table after round 14 and didn't surrender control for the remainder of the campaign, winning by a fine margin of just 2 points. Raul finished the season with 21 La Liga goals, 13 less than the top scorer, Barcelona striker Ronaldo. This was despite the fact that Italian manager Fabio Capello often used Raul in an unfamiliar left-wing role, preferring to pair Montenegrin Mijatovic and Croatian Davor Suker in a striking duo. Next year would be a disappointing one domestically, as Raul had to suffer the pain of watching Barcelona clinch the La Liga crown, with Real 11 points off the pace in 4th. Personally, he also must have been a bit disappointed with his goal return, burying only 10 strikes in La Liga. That year was, however, the start of what would go on to become a fruitful and productive strike partnership, with Spanish centre-forward Fernando Morientes, who himself scored 12 goals that season. Due to Raul's agility and technical prowess, he was often deployed as a supporting striker throughout his career, proving to be an excellent foil for a more physical partner. Of course, Raul's icy cool composure and otherworldly finishing ability meant he could always be trusted to finish the job. Real would ease the ignominy of giving up their La Liga title to Barca by winning the 1998 Champions League, where Raul played every match of their triumphant run, in which they dispatched German giants Leverkusen and Dortmund in the quarter and semi-finals respectively, before facing Juventus in a final which would be decided by a single Mijatovic goal. This victory would be the first of a dominant period for Madrid in the Champions League, as they would lift the trophy 3 times in the 4 years between 98 and 2002. The 2000 edition of Europe's premier club tournament saw Raul perform utterly spectacularly, securing joint top scorer alongside Brazilians Rivaldo and Jardel with 10 goals in the competition. For Raul, that included the 3rd goal of Real's 3-0 victory against fellow Spaniards Valencia. He also assisted 4 goals, adding to his all-round excellent showing in the competition. The 2002 Champions League trophy would be the 3rd and final one Raul would win with Los Blancos, again scoring in the final, taking advantage of some desperately poor defending and a howler by Leverkusen goalkeeper Hans-Jörg Butt. That strike at Hampden Park fired Raul into the history books as he became the first player to score in 2 Champions League finals. All this by the age of 23. Setting aside his enormous, almost godlike talent for a second, part of what makes Raul such a legendary and iconic player is his personality and the aura which surrounded him. This is what endeared him to the fans and led them to take him into their hearts, perhaps more than they could with any Galactico. An excellent moment which captured this idea came in an epic match against Barcelona in 1999. For 5 years, Real and the young Raul had endured a torrid time in the El Clasico fixtures at the Nou Camp since his emergence as a first-team regular, tasting defeat in 6 consecutive matches against the Catalan Giants, conceding 16 goals in the process without being able to find the back of the net a single time themselves in response. This all changed on that night in October when Raul opened the scoring for the visitors after 26 minutes at the Camp Nou. Goals from Rivaldo and Figo would see the home side pull ahead and go on course to make it 7 consecutive victories. That was until Raul dinked the ball over the on-rushing keeper to equalise the match and silence the opposition. Aware of this, Raul celebrated by running over to the distraught home fans with his fingers over his lips. "Sit down, shut up, shush," he was telling them. This was the moment that elevated Raul from a promising young striker to a true legend in the eyes of the Madridissimos. In addition to the 2 La Liga titles I've already covered in this video, Raul would add a further 4 winners' medals to his cabinet by helping Real to become the Kings of Spain in 2001, 2003, 2007 and 2008. The 2000-2001 season would see him enjoy his most prolific goal-scoring form of a title-winning campaign, as he netted 24 times in the league. This tally would be enough to make him the league's top scorer and claim the Pichichi trophy for the second and final time in his career, having won it previously in 1999 when he scored 25 goals. Rather oddly, Raul never managed to win the Spanish Cup, the Copa del Rey, in any of his 16 years with Madrid. Following the departure of Fernando Hierro in 2003, Raul took over as captain of Real Madrid. It takes a special kind of character to be the captain of a football team, and an even more special one to be the captain of Real Madrid. Well, what type of character do you think you have to be the leader of the Galacticos, a supremely expensively assembled bunch of generational superstars, with the likes of Luis Figo, Zinedine Zidane, Ronaldo Nazario, David Beckham, Robinho, Michael Owen and Sergio Ramos, all looking to Raul for guidance on the field. Combined, their transfer value was in the hundreds of millions, whereas Raul was essentially a free signing, having graduated from the academy. Raul led Real Madrid through one of the toughest times the club has had to face as they endured a long and difficult barren period in the Champions League, a competition they would not win again until 4 years after his departure. This was also a time when Barcelona were dominating domestically, winning La Liga 4 times during Raul's captaincy. They also made history by becoming the first Spanish team to win a continental treble in 2009. He was also there to oversee the beginning of the second Galacticos era, as Kaká, Karim Benzema, Xabi Alonso and the ultimo Galactico Cristiano Ronaldo all arrived in 2009, his last season with the club, with Raul actually refusing to hand his number 7 shirt over to Ronaldo while he was still at the club. On Raul's final La Liga appearance ever for Madrid, he scored the opening goal of the game against none other than Real Zaragoza, the team against which he made his debut and registered an assist 16 years ago. Poetic. Due to injuries and other situations, Raul never got a real send-off from the fans when he left the club in 2010, with fellow academy product Guti, with Schalke being the destination for Prince Raul. 3 years later, Raul did get his testimonial, scoring in a 5-0 win against Al Sadd. Raul was also the captain of the Spanish national team from 2002 to 2006, with these years of captaincy leading to him being known as one of his many nicknames, El Capitan. Raul won his first international cap in 1996, 6 years before he led the team at the 2002 World Cup in South Korea. This was a period of disappointment and despair for the national team, as they failed to win any major men's finals in a barren spell that begun in 1964. Heartbreakingly, controversially, and perhaps disrespectfully, Raul was not selected for the 2008 European Championships, which Spain would go on to win, meaning that El Capitan never got to taste the victory with his national team that his years of dedicated service deserved. In 102 appearances, Raul scored 44 goals for Los Roja. Raul broke many records during his career, some that he has since lost and some that he still holds. His debut for Real made him the youngest player ever to play for the senior side at 17 years 124 days old, a record which was broken that same season by Alberto Rivera. He became the first ever player to score 50 goals in the Champions League, scoring against Olympiacos in 2005. On 15th of February 2009, Raul broke Alfredo Di Stefano's long-standing record of most goals scored for Real Madrid, volleying home his 308th for the club. In total, he scored 323 goals for Los Blancos, a record which has since been broken by Cristiano Ronaldo and will soon be surpassed by Karim Benzema. He is, however, the highest scoring player to have graduated from Real's academy, with Emilio Butragueño the only other La Fabrica product in the top 10. He is the all-time Real Madrid record appearance holder in all competitions, with 541 and in La Liga with 550. Now these are achievements which will be rather difficult to surpass. He is the highest ever Spanish scorer across the European leagues with 256 goals total, 228 in La Liga and 28 in the Bundesliga. He's one of only 18 players to have played over 1,000 professional matches in his career. And finally, in all his 18 years, he was never once sent off, seeing him inherit the title of Gentleman of Fair Play from Butra. Despite all these exploits, Raul never won the Ballon d'Or, only placing second in 2001. To sum it up, I believe there is a strong case for Raul to be considered as the GOAT of Real Madrid. Okay, his numbers don't stack up against those of Cristiano Ronaldo's, perhaps no one will ever match those stats. He didn't have the technical or skillful brilliance of Di Stefano or the venomous shot of Puskás, but Raul's brilliance and importance is not something which can necessarily be measured in numbers. And let's not get it twisted, his goal scoring figures are mind-blowing. It's Raul's movie-like story, starting off with the rivals, ending up with Madrid, becoming captain, now he is manager of Madrid Castilla, and it's not fanciful to presume that one day he will manage the team he loves and gave absolutely everything for as a player, which would be another scarcely believable chapter in an unbelievable story. Raul was a phenomenal player. His fight, dogged determination, ability to play in any of the attacking positions, and human composure, and an almost arrogant nonchalance when under pressure, he was just a pure striker. Jorge Valdano, the coach who handed Raul his debut, said this: "If you wrote a list of Raul's qualities, it would be a list of the values of Real Madrid. He is the Di Stefano of our time. He is the people, the incarnation of Madridismo." Following Raul's brace against Manchester United in the Champions League quarter-finals first leg in 2003, Sir Alex Ferguson had this to say: "Raul was so difficult to play against when he starts taking up the positions he did tonight. We know Zidane and Luis Figo are great players, but we could have handled that. Raul was very difficult. My only hope is that he doesn't like travelling. Failing that, we will stop him coming into the country for the second leg. Real Madrid have bought some great players over the last few years, but at the moment, Raul is the best in the world."